Well, our next comic coming to the stage, she's a very funny lady. She's been a finalist in the Columbus Funny Bone Funniest Person show. She is also a commercial actress. That's right. She's not a doctor in real life, but she plays one on TV. So let's give it up for Leslie Battle!
Good evening, Shanes. I love coming to Shane's. I think that Shane is quite possibly the sexiest name for a dinner theater anyone ever could come up with. That and the fact that it's the same name as a cartoon character that I had a huge crush on when I was 14, and I'm going to pretend that it ended, even though we can all admit that it hasn't. So since we had a little break, I want to jog everybody's memories because, I'm trying to do these little mnemonic things to keep my memory going. So right here we have the most fertile couple in Ohio. None of my business, but maybe we should separate you two. I don't know. Just for the remainder of the show. Anything that happens outside of the show is like Vegas. Okay, it's not my business. But let's see. We've got Tyler back here who did the McDonald's training video and then started thinking that he was 90s rock stars. Is that close? And then we've got Spike. Spike looks just like Steve Martin except old. And then, last but not least, we've got Brian, who is reaching for to teach tolerance for sci-fi geeks. I think that's very important. But Brian, I'm sorry, honey, I am a Trekkie, so we're gonna really have to work on our relationship because I can't have 3 universes running around in my brain. There's just not enough capacity. I can't handle it. So here I am. I seem to be the majority on stage tonight because I was born in Texas. Come on now, I'm not gonna state that obvious thing. We're all in Ohio, it's all good. But I'll admit though, I like living in Ohio because I tend to be that safe black friend that people always want to ask me questions. And I can really fool you guys with my answers. It's fun. It wasn't too long ago when Paula Deen was in so much trouble. And everybody was like, oh my God, Leslie, she's used the N-word. What a horrible person. What do you think about the N-word? Well, I can think of several N-words, like nature walks, or narcotics, or nymphomania is my particular favorite. I really don't put too much concentration on that one that she used. It just is what it is. I gotta admit though too, I'm single, been single now for about 4 years. My ex and I got divorced in 2010 after being married for almost 15 years. Really, really fun fact about this guy, you get into the relationship, things get kind of, you try to work on things and you're asking well, what can I do to spice things up? What are your fantasies? Tell me what you want. And forever he would say, no, everything's fine. And finally one day he admits to me, well, honey, I've always had this slave master fantasy. A really country boy from Ohio, I kind of figured that out when we started dating black chicks. Way to go. Another little fun fact about him, or at least our marriage, with him, I had blue-eyed babies. Yeah, believe me, that first one popped out, and I'm kind of like, I'm gonna need a maternity test. That is not something that runs on my side of the family. I don't know what he's been up to. This is not the time to be finding this sort of thing out. It's not cool. And it's really cool, though, to be a black lady who's got blue-eyed kids because, whenever I go places, especially rural places, people don't know, what to say because their curiosity is going crazy in their brain, but, they've watched enough episodes of modern TV, you don't want to just shout that kind of stuff out. But invariably, I'll get the question, well, where'd you get that pretty little girl? I don't know, Rent-A-Center? Where exactly are they handing out white babies to black chicks? And what, may I ask, is their return policy? I'm asking for a friend. You can really mess with some old people's minds, though, for real, that's fine. If you show them a pale-skinned, blue-eyed baby with a fro, trust me, there's copious steam flowing from their ears every time. Oh, we spike them on. Spike's my buddy. We're still buddies, right?
Well, maybe.
He already forgot what I said anyway. like I said, I'm single, trying to do the whole dating thing, and it is what it is. I mean, after all, I've come to realize that I've developed this addiction to young white men. It's kind of just out of convenience. I live in Ohio, for crying out loud. There's a bumper crop of young white men walking around here. Just go with the flow, man. It is what it is. And I mean, you know, I'm 43 years old. My kids are 20, 17, and 13. So, you know, my son's friends are now legal. And if they're hitting on me, I'm just not as offended anymore. But, you know, every once in a while, one of my friends will ask us, like, well, you know, aren't you afraid your son might be offended, you know, you dating somebody that's close to his age? Well, you know, I was kind of offended all those times he broke curfew. So maybe if he'd have listened to me from the beginning, I wouldn't have lost my damn mind and started looking at his classmates. At least he knows not to bring them around me. I'm at least honest about that. Because I have a tendency to accept dates from guys who are younger than me. At times I've been called a cougar. First few times I heard that, I was a little offended because I always thought it had a negative connotation until I realized, oh hell, I am brown and in some places I'm fuzzy. People are just calling it like this. And thank you all for your honesty. Man, celebrities in the news. I love talking about celebrities because they make me feel smart. Like just a couple of weeks ago, Michael Vick got attacked by a dog. Anybody heard about that? If it was female, karma's a bitch has never been more literal. Just saying. Just saying. And then, about the same time, any Facebookers in the room? Any other Facebookers? Yeah. Me, I'm an absolute addict. I don't even watch the news anymore. I got 1,700 friends. If it's important enough, somebody's going to be like, oh my God, guess what's going on? Well, Samuel Jackson got interviewed by this entertainment guy. Who's laughing? You heard about that? And the guy thought he was Lawrence Fishburne. And so he's all talking about the Super Bowl commercial, and Samuel's like, I didn't do no Super Bowl commercial. And he's like, dude, are you serious? And wouldn't let it go. Well, Facebook just erupts, and everybody's just like, Samuel, come on, lighten up. You want Mace Windu to lighten up. Really? This man has been making his living, kicking asses and blowing shit up for the past, 30 years. You must have thought it was Will Smith. But anyway, these things happen. You know, I gotta admit though too, I mean, like my favorite right now is Rob Ford, the mayor of Toronto. Have you heard about him? That man, finally, the Generation X has trickled up to public office. If you haven't heard of him, Rob, I'll just call him Rob because he's casual like that. In a drunken stupor, was videoed smoking crack. This is the Caucasian mayor of Toronto smoking crack on video. Finally, somebody has shown that it's not just for black people anymore. You know, Marion Barry was like, yes, finally somebody I can call a party with. You know he was saying that. And this guy, oh my God, he has like no filter. He's in this situation where once you've been mayor for so long, they can't like fire you. So basically all the city council is doing is just passing all of these ordinances so he doesn't have any power, but he still has his job. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, how much punishment is it to have a job and have no responsibilities? It's a technique, I guess. But like one of the female employees lodged a sexual harassment complaint against him, and she said that he wanted to eat her, right? And on camera, he says, well, I would never say that to that lady. I'm a happily married man, and I have plenty to eat at home. Well, now we know the one person who's not going to be in the grocery store when snow is forecast. But outside of that, being his wife, I wouldn't know how to take that, And I mean, he's a big fella. He's like John Candy and Jim Belushi, contributed DNA to scientific experiment baby. He's not little. And I'm just thinking, if that diet is causing him weight gain, maybe she needs to get something checked, because that's not it's not how it's supposed to work. It's not how it's supposed to work. But my goodness, there's just so much going on in the world today. One thing that I'm a little confused about, anybody want to visit Australia?
Yeah.
Have you seen what the heck is going on in Australia with these crazy animals? First thing I see is, okay, everybody knows that sharks live in the ocean, right? But you don't expect to go to the beach and see a 12-foot crocodile, do you? Swimming off the beach in Australia, there's a 12-foot crocodile. They closed down the beach. I'm just like, Australians, we got it. You guys are badass, okay? You don't have to keep flaunting this in our faces. But then there's this lake, and a 10-foot python killed and ate a 4-foot crocodile. And somebody videoed the whole thing. No, I'm staying in the house, dog. That is not anything I even want to think about finding on my back porch, ever. Ever. Never. Of course, Steve Irwin, he tried to warn us. I think he was just too kind about it, I mean, that was the thing. He was like, oh, this friendly little snake. No, that snake ain't friendly, dog. It's not. You may be the snake whisperer, the rest of us. No. Speaking of that, there was a reality show about the snake handling church. Yeah, the pastor just died. Y'all heard about that? No, it wasn't a car wreck, y'all, in case you're wondering. And somebody still has the nerve to be like, we had no idea this could happen. Speaking of unexpected things that can happen, so I'm just all about the news today because there's just so much going on. So you guys hear about this 18-year-old girl who sued her parents?
Yeah.
Is that some bullshit or what? You know what? Honestly, if I were her parents, I would sue her ass for being born. I was really, girlfriend, is that how we're gonna play it? And then what's so crazy about it, she's just so freaking blatant about it. She hasn't lived in her parents' house for months. And she doesn't want to have a relationship with them. She just wants them to pay all her bills. Honey, that's called prostitution. That's a totally different, going about this the wrong way. And when Steve was talking about, teenagers being stupid and everything, unfortunately, in this girl's case, there is an adult who is encouraging her to be stupid because her friend's father is the one who's paying for the lawsuit in the first place. Well, that doesn't raise any suspicion, does it? And the crazy thing about it, she's an honor student. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But I do, like I said, live in Ohio. I'm starting to think of myself as a bizarre black woman because there's a lot of stereotypes that don't apply to me. Like, I don't talk out loud in the movies, and my closet stripper song is Buck Cherry's Crazy Bitch. It just is what it is. People accept it. But I think the biggest thing is the fact that me being married to a white man messed up my credit. I missed some fine print somewhere. Something. Our son was doing this genealogy assignment for school, and he was only in second grade, so it wasn't that intense. But the question was, how far back can you trace your family? Well, my great-great-grandparents were slaves. I was really born in Texas, and so, records get a little murky around the 1800s. You know what I'm saying? And he knew that both sets of great-grandparents immigrated from Europe, so he's, thinking this through, carrying the one, all this kind of stuff. And grandma's parents came over from Ireland, and grandpa's parents came over from Germany. Hey, baby, which boat do you think your folks came over on? Now, thankfully, our son was in the room, so I became the master of self-control in that moment. And for all the Medea movies that I've seen, I realized it's too cute to go to jail. So no, there was no grit ball, there was no, but I thought about it, and I'm trying to think of a way to say it, to get him to shut the hell up. And I finally said, you know what, honey, there's a distinct possibility our folks came on the same boat. It's just mine were rowing. I paid how much for your college degree? Good golly. No, he meant well, I guess. Whatever. So, I think I'm going to wrap it up here, but I would like to say, though, one thing. I am a veteran, been serving in the military since 1988. Sometimes I'm kind of reluctant to talk about that because other comments will be like, oh, there's Leslie getting her sheep applause again. You know what? That's what I do. But I'm really happy, though, because there's a lot of things that the Army has taught me, like how to do a proper push-up or how to think strategically, or most importantly, how not to get pissed off when I see another chick dressed like me. That takes skill. My name is Leslie Battle, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Let's give it up for Leslie.